Sam Bankman-Fried, the former CEO of FTX, has submitted a lengthy letter to the former employees. Many people are looking at this and saying he hasn't really learned anything, hasn't changed much. You guys let us know what you think about this down in the comments below. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to go do your own research. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. Liz Hoffman sharing this over on Twitter. Letter SBF sent today to FTX employees. It goes on to read, "Hi all, I feel deeply sorry about what happened. I regret what happened to all of you, and I regret what happened to customers. You gave everything you could for FTX and stood by the company and me. I didn't mean for any of this to happen, and I would give anything to be able to go back and do things over again. You were family. I've lost that, and our old home is an empty warehouse of monitors. When I turn around, there's no one left to talk to. I disappointed all of you, and when things broke down, I failed to communicate. I froze up in the face of pressure and leaks and the Binance LOI and said nothing. I lost track of the most important thing in the commotion of company growth. I care deeply about you all, and you were my family, and I'm sorry. I was CEO, and so it was my duty to make sure that ultimately the right things happened at FTX. I wish that I had been more careful. I want to give you a better description of what happened, one I should have written out as best as I understood it much earlier. Piecing things together recently, making approximations, I don't have full data access right now to get precise answers, and marking everything to market. Regardless of liquidity, I believe that the events that led to the breakdown this month included 1. A crash in markets this spring that led to a roughly 50% reduction in the value of collateral. A. 60 billion collateral, 2 billion liabilities, 30 billion collateral, 2 billion liabilities. 2. Most of the credit in the industry drying up at once. A. 25 billion collateral, 8 billion liabilities. 3. A concentrated hyper-correlated crash in November that led to another roughly 50% reduction in the value of collateral over a very short period of time, during which there was very little market bid side liquidity. A. 17 billion collateral, 8 billion liabilities. 4. A run on the bank triggered by the same attacks in November. A. 9 billion collateral. 5. As we frantically put everything together, it became clear that the position was larger than its display on admin/users because of old fiat deposits before FTX had bank accounts. A. 9 billion collateral, 8 billion liabilities. I never intended this to happen. I did not realize the full extent of the margin position, nor did I realize the magnitude of the risk posed by a hyper-correlated crash. The loans and secondary sales were generally used to reinvest in the business, including buying out Binance, and not for large amounts of personal consumption. I deeply regret my oversight failure. In retrospect, I wish that we had done many, many things differently. To name a few, A. Being substantially more skeptical of large margin positions. B. Examining stress test scenarios involving hyper-correlated crashes and simultaneous runs on the bank. C. Being more careful about the fiat processes on FTX. D. Having a continuous monitor of total deliverable assets, total customer positions, and other core risk metrics. And E. Putting in more controls around margin management. And none of this changes the fact that this all sucks for you guys, and it's not your fault, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to do what I can to make it up to you guys and to the customers, even if that takes the rest of my life. But I'm worried that even then I won't be able to. And none of this changes the fact that this all sucks for you guys, and it's not your fault, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to do what I can to make it up to you guys and to the customers, even if that takes the rest of my life. But I'm worried that even then I won't be able to. Sorry, I just repeated that part there for you guys. I also want to acknowledge those of you who gave me what I now believe to be the right advice about pathways forward for FTX following the crash. You were right, of course. I believe that a month earlier, FTX had been a thriving, profitable, innovative business, which means that FTX still had value, and that value could have gone towards helping to make everyone more whole. We likely could have raised significant funding. Potential interest in billions of dollars of funding came in roughly 8 minutes after I signed the Chapter 11 documents. Between those funds, the billions of dollars of collateral the company still held, and the interest we'd received from other parties, I think we probably could have returned large value to customers and saved the business. There would have had to be changes, of course, way more transparency and way more controls in place, including oversight of myself, but FTX was something really special, and you all helped make it that. Nothing that happened was your fault. We had to make very hard calls very quickly. I have been in that position before and should have known that when shitty things happen to us, we all tend to make irrational decisions. An extreme amount of coordinated pressure came out of desperation to file for bankruptcy for all of FTX, even entities that were solvent, and despite other jurisdictions' claims. I understand that pressure and empathize with it. A lot of people had been thrust into challenging circumstances that generally were not their fault. I reluctantly gave into that pressure, even though I should have known better. I wish I had listened to those of you who saw and still see value in the platform, which was and is my belief as well. Maybe there still is a chance to save the company. I believe that there are billions of dollars of genuine interest from new investors that could go to making customers whole, but I can't promise you that anything will happen because it's not my choice. In the meantime, I'm excited to see some positive steps being taken, like Ledger X being turned back on. I'm incredibly thankful for all of you, for all that you guys have done for FTX over the years, and I'll never forget that. Goes on to read, I deeply regret my oversight failure. In retrospect, I wish that we had done many things differently. To name a few, actually the second posting here is just the same as the other one, so I'm going to save you guys some time from me actually going off and reading that. And so Liz Hoffman responds here saying, this mostly makes sense to me. FTX had a lot of collateral, $60 billion against not that many liabilities, $2 billion. The problem is that collateral was monopoly money and the liabilities were real money, just real basic banking stuff. See here, SPF's words, not mine. A bankruptcy trustee will sort it out, etc. Collateral, mostly crypto, went from being worth $60 billion to $9 billion fast. Even a conservative balance sheet goes upside down very fast when the assets are garbage and the debts are real. See Lehman. Setting aside whether there was fraud or not, a question for DOJ, this appears to just be a run on the bank. Crypto tokens are objectively riskier/stupider collateral than mortgage bonds, but neither are cash. Same basic gravitational forces at work here. Sure, yes, you can further inflate your assets by doing pump and dumps or drain them by stealing customers' money, but neither is a prerequisite for what seems to have happened here. Matt points out, saying he still doesn't acknowledge that playing with customer funds was a mistake. All of his admitted mistakes are that he didn't play with their money well enough. He didn't gamble skillfully enough. He never acknowledges that he shouldn't have touched funds at all. Not forgivable. And then Matt says, oh, I didn't see this. Now I understand why you aren't as harsh. He gave you money. Did you disclose this in your tweet thread as well? And then points this out. All right. Well, that is the latest information on Sam Bankman-Fried, his correspondence over with that of the FTX employees. Do you think that he's being authentic here? I have a feeling that he's got to have some degree of feeling sorry. I mean, it's a major mess up, and something like this, people are looking at you and it's like one of the biggest failures ever, and people, typically don't like to feel like failures. As far as whether or not he'll be able to do anything to help recover towards this, or how much of an effort he'll push forward after everything is settled down with FTX, if other people are handling things, I don't know if he's going to put in much effort. He doesn't really scream someone that's trying to put much effort into basically anything. So we'll see, but yeah, what do you guys think about this? Tell us your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Last thing is I want to tell you about is Webull. There's a special promotion going on right now. You could get up to 12 free stocks if you use that referral link. You can also trade cryptocurrencies on their platform. If you open up an account, you could get 2 free fractional shares, each valued up to $300. If you deposit any amount, you could receive 4 to 10 free fractional shares, each valued up to $3,000. More than likely, you'll get a share that's valued around $3, $4, that kind of a price range, but there is a chance that you could get something worth a lot more. Again, this is just an option for you. The market is down quite a bit. If you're trying to look at an opportunity to get some extra funds going on, this could potentially be good for you. And so, yeah, feel free to check that out. The link is down in the description. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, and SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Also, thank you to my YouTube members for your guys' support. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.